So this is Kickstarter, where people advertise a certain project that they want to accomplish, and then you have different people contributing to that particular project. For instance, here we have a project for We Cry Silence Baby Sharma, and then this person essentially advertises this project, and people will then contribute to this project. So the biggest challenge is, how then do you make sure that the money that is being collected by this particular person actually accomplishes this project that they advertise here. So in developing Kickstarter model, we can do that in smart contracts, such that we have like a manager, and the people who are contributing to it will be able to approve what if that particular spending is going to be done. So the manager will have to create a request in order to spend a certain amount of money. For instance, the manager can create a request for buying, let's say, batteries. So then the people who funded the project will be able to vote whether this is a viable cause or not. So this is a Solidity smart contract, essentially. But because you don't want to have your entire smart contract code to be accessible by the contributors, then we basically have to deploy it from another contract. So that's why we have two contracts here. So we have a campaign factory, and then we have our main campaign. The main job of the campaign factory is to deploy the campaign smart contract. So basically what happens in the campaign smart contract is, the person who creates it right here in our constructor, we call them the manager, and then we get their address, and then they also have the opportunity to make a minimum contribution, to set a minimum contribution, so that the people who are contributing can contribute to a certain minimum. We have a certain minimum of contribution to make. So then these functions that follow are simply ways to interact with the smart contract itself. For instance, we have a contract for contribution, where which can be called when people want to contribute. We have a create request, which is restricted only to the manager. So the manager is the only one who is able to create a request to a given function or to a given spending, where he has to describe it here. And we have approve requests, which can be called by the contributors. So the function which is basically used to approve the request. Finalize requests, this one is called by the manager as well, to finalize the requests depending on the number of approvals that are there. And we have get manager, which can be called to see who the manager is. Get summary, which is called to provide a summary of the project or the contract that we have. Then we have a get request count, which can be used to get the requests that are there, that has been created by the manager. So in doing that, then we would need to deploy this contract so that it can be we can test it. So all these are codes for compiling the smart contract and deploying it. We're going to deploy it in Ring-P test network. So we deploy it first, we compile it first. Basically, we write it in, we utilized a lot of React to write this particular project, to complete this particular project. And then, so we compile it, then we deploy it. So let's see it in action. To deploy it, we run npm localhost 3000. Okay, so here we are. So before I deployed a campaign, so this is basically what the users will see if they would like to create a campaign. You can simply click here to add a campaign or create a campaign here. So to create a campaign, let's try to create one. Let's put a minimum contribution. Let me confirm. Great. So here we can see that our campaign has been created. So we are also able to view the statistics of our campaign, which we created before. And to view your statistics, this basically tells you where your campaign is located. And then this is the minimum contribution and way, and you have the number of requests displayed here and the campaign balance. So if we say we want to contribute to this particular campaign, let's say we want to contribute, this time it's not 100, this time is in Ether. So if we contribute 0.001 Ether, it should be more than 100 way. So confirm. So keep your eye on this. Excellent, which means that we've been able to contribute to our campaign. So now the number of approvers is 1 and the campaign balance is 0.001 Ether, which is what we contributed. Thank you.